Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about signs you're an attractive man, but you don't realize, okay? So there are some signs that I want to get into first that are kind of a little bit more of the more obvious ones if you're physically attractive, okay? So if you're very symmetrical in the way that you look, you got nice hair, you got a nice body. So what are the physical signs that you're attractive? Okay, so what you'll find is if you're an attractive man is that quite a lot of people are nice to you, and perhaps you might find that they're a lot nicer to you than you might find, like, let's say you've got some friends and let's say people are nicer to you than they are some of your friends who are, let's say, less attractive than you. Okay, so if you notice that people are extraordinarily nice to you and they don't always and it seems like other people aren't always treated in the same way that you were treated, then that could be a sign that you are actually very attractive, and that's one of the reasons why people are much more nicer to you than the rest of the people that you may know, or something along those lines. So people are nice to you, that's a huge one. Okay, so but also in that respect, and women have this issue as well with other women, but it may be that if you're an attractive man that other men don't really like you that much. Okay, so there could be a bunch of guys that maybe you go to school with or maybe you work with that don't seem to like you that much because of how attractive you are. Okay, so it could be that some men don't like you very much. Okay, especially if those men are perhaps a bit more insecure than what you are. Perhaps they're not as good looking as you, or perhaps they don't take care of themselves as much as what you do. Okay, you found that, I think that this happened a lot in the 90s. A lot of guys, I remember, really didn't like Leonardo DiCaprio because of the way they looked, because he was so, I guess it was the blonde hair, and a lot of women really liked him, had a crush on him in Titanic and Romeo and Juliet. He was just very symmetrical looking, very pretty for a guy. So I know a lot of guys didn't like him, and it was the same with later on, like literally almost a decade later. I think it was a decade later. Zac Efron, when he was in High School Musical, there was so many guys that hated Zac Efron, and it was because, again, like, he was a bit of a pretty boy, you know. He had the hair, you know, it was he had the hair, he had the eyes, you know, it was that kind of situation, right? And a lot of men disliked him. So if you find that a lot of guys dislike you, and it seems like for absolutely no reason whatsoever, it could be because they think that you're more attractive than them, and perhaps they notice that women give you a lot more attention. And women have the exact same issue. If you're an attractive woman, you'll find that a lot of women are jealous of you, or have been jealous of you in the past. Okay, that hasn't necessarily happened with me, right? But I've had some friends over the years that have been, you know, really pretty, and I remember at school, and I remember just some girls just like really bitching on them and hating the girls that were attractive. And I just remember that, and it was all because they were pretty. And some of those girls, yeah, those pretty girls were not very nice, but some of them actually were angels and really nice women, really nice girls. And it didn't matter, right? Basically, it didn't matter what her personality was. They just hated these girls because they were better looking than them, okay? And it was very, very interesting to see growing up watching that dynamic happen. I think it's more common with women, though, because I don't really remember it happening with the guys that I went to school with who were good looking. But then again, I wasn't really friends with those guys, so I wasn't really around those dynamics. I was hanging out with the girls, being a girl and all. So maybe as a man growing up, maybe you might have noticed that if you were around, you know, other guys a lot in your main friendship group. So a lot of men may dislike you. So it might not be that they outwardly dislike you, you know, they're going to try and fight you and stuff, although that may happen. But it might be just like they just don't speak very nicely to you. Perhaps you notice that, let's say you're in a supermarket, right, and there's a guy at the counter, and he's really nice to the guy in front of you, who's sort of like average looking, and then you come, and then he's maybe a little bit more like, yeah, whatever, sort of bitter, not very polite, not very getting into the customer service spirit, shall we say. So it could be that a lot of men dislike you if you're physically outwardly attractive, okay? So another sign, obviously, is that women look at you a lot. So if you notice that women are staring at you a lot, perhaps you get a lot of attention from women, perhaps women feel okay to come up to you and start talking to you and flirting with you, then that's an obvious sign that women are attracted to you because you're physically attractive. Okay, so those are the physical attractive signs, okay? So let's get into the more personality traits, okay? Because it could be that you might be thinking, well, none of these things have happened to me, right? I must be really ugly. I must be really unattractive. But there are things that you can do, okay? Because if you think about it, when do you see a really, really, really attractive man? Does it happen every day? Probably not. The really physically attractive men who those things happen to are very rare, okay? They just won the genetic lottery and they look really great and they don't appear very often, okay? There may have only been 1 or 2 of them in your year group at school, okay? There wasn't many of them. Most guys looked pretty average. So you might be thinking, well, I'm pretty average then because none of those things happened to me, or maybe I'm worse than average. But I don't want you to worry about that, because if you're a good-looking man, yes, you will get your foot in the door with women based on your looks. But if you don't have the vibe to match, okay, if those good-looking men are also not very confident, or they're just not very nice to women, then there's only so far that they're going to get with women before those women get sick of them and the whole thing disintegrates. Even if they're with a good-looking guy for years, if he's not got the vibe, eventually she will leave him or that relationship will dissolve, okay? So yes, being attractive does get your foot in the door, but it's not the be-all, end-all, because there are plenty of guys out there who are unattractive or conventionally unattractive or just average-looking that have wives who are 10 out of 10s, or they're just in a relationship with a woman, right? And they've got the basic stuff, right? They've got a girlfriend, they've got a wife, they've got kids, and they're average-looking guys. I mean, if you go out, you'll see it all the time. You'll see it all the time. If you go to like a shopping center or something like that, you go to the supermarket, you'll see that. You'll probably not find actually that many good looking guys, but you'll see like an average looking guy with his wife and his kids, out and about. And, so that's what you got to remember, okay? Just because you're not super, super, super like good looking doesn't mean that you can't get women, because there are plenty of other guys that are very average looking and maybe below average that still get women and still get married, still have kids. And, so that's a complete reality for you that can happen, okay? So let's get into some of the things that you can embody then, so that you can become an attractive man on the inside with your vibe. So that you can have more success with women, even though you may not have won the genetic lottery. And if you're an attractive guy watching this, then how about developing these personality traits within you too, so that you can be the whole package, right? How awesome would that be? Okay, so first of all, if you want to be physically attractive, okay, and this is one of the signs that you may already be quite attractive to women, but it's also something that you can develop and learn as a skill, is you respect yourself and your time. So if you respect yourself, you take care of yourself, and you respect your time, and you're not going to hang out with time wasters like women that flake on you and stuff like that. If you respect your time and you have standards, and you've got standards for yourself, and you respect yourself, then you're going to appear more attractive to women because you've got that strength, okay? You've got that inner sturdiness and strength, and women like that. They like that confidence, okay? And if you respect yourself, then that's one of the best ways that you can start building your confidence, okay? If you respect yourself and you take care of yourself, and you're not going to hang out with time wasters, okay? So that means if you think about how you respect yourself in those kinds of degrees, then it'll be you respect your time. So if you respect your time and you start talking to a woman, and let's say she sort of like, flakes on you a lot of the time, like you arrange a date and then she cancels last minute, stop talking to her. If she's always doing that, then stop talking to that woman who cancels last minute, especially if she doesn't come up with an alternative time to see you. Okay, so if she's cancelling all the time, if she's just sort of jerking you around, then you got to realize that if I want to appear more attractive to not just her but to all women, then I need to start respecting my time and not be like, oh, okay, well maybe we'll just do it enough time. No, if she's flaking on you and jerking you around all the time, then you've got to say to yourself, okay, I can't hang out with that woman anymore because she's not respecting my time. She doesn't give a crap about my time, okay? Otherwise, she wouldn't be jerking me around like this. So what I'm going to say to her is, or just ignore her. You can say to her, good luck with your dating, or you could say to her, you could say that to her, or you could just not talk to her again. So maybe she left you on red anyway. So, you just let her go. Okay, so being able to let go of women, okay? When you're at work, you've got to realize, am I being valued for the work that I put in? Am I being valued here? And if you're not, because it might be that you are, and that's great, but if you're not and you feel like, well, yeah, I do a lot of work around here and no one's like giving me any acknowledgement, they treat me as a number, what you got to realize is that, okay, so yes, you've got to stay in your job, but you should be looking for other jobs where you might be valued more, okay? Because you want to be in places with people that want you, and that goes for women, and that also goes for your work environment, that also goes for your family and friends too. You want to hang around with those and be in places where you are wanted and valued. And the best way to know if you're wanted and valued is that people put enthusiasm in you. So women, you spend time with women that actually want you, that are not rejecting you or trying to put you in friend zone or just jerking you around. You're going to hang out with women that are enthusiastic about you, that want to see you. Okay, of course, you've got to want to see them too, and you've got to want to be attracted to them too, which is great. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can find a woman who you really like and she really likes you back. That is 100% a possibility for you. I'm not saying you should settle just for a woman that likes you and you don't like her. Not at all. Okay, that's definitely not what I want for you. Okay, but it's also the same with where you go to work as well. You want to be in a place where you're wanted and you're valued, okay, for the work that you put in. Now, if you're slacking off and you don't put any work in, then maybe you deserve not to be valued, right? Because you're not putting in the effort, okay? Unless the reason why you're not putting in the effort anymore is because you've just been devalued and no one's appreciating what you've done in the past, which is fair enough. So if that's the case, then, my answer to that is to, yes, stay in your job so you've got the income coming in, but be looking for other jobs where you can be, with the effort that you're putting is rewarded and appreciated and noticed, okay? And again, it's the same with your friends, okay? You don't want to just be hanging out with people desperate for friendships. You want to really be putting in the effort into those friendships where those people also want you there too, so that you put in a mutual effort. So you put in mutual effort to meet up. You're not the one that's always putting in the effort saying, hey, let's meet up, let's hang out. And they don't never do the same to you. You want to find someone who, gives as much as they take. Okay, and that's again the same. It's the same with everything. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to be in places where you're wanted and where you're valued. Okay, so that's one of the best ways that you can respect yourself. Obviously, other ways you can respect yourself is to take care of yourself, eat nutritious meals. Just respect yourself in that way as well. But you respect yourself and you respect your time and you respect your energy, and you're not going to put your energy into people or things or places that are not valuing you on the same level. Okay, so another sign that you're an attractive man, or it's something that you can develop within yourself, is you're not desperate for women. One of the signs of a man who is unattractive is a man who is desperate for women, desperate to get laid, desperate to get into a relationship, desperate to have women's approval, okay? So that's something that you don't want to dive into, okay? You don't want to be one of those people that are just desperate for women, okay? It's better to be a little bit more laid back when it comes to your dating and to not be desperate. And that leads into my next point, which is your calling is the most important thing, okay? Your calling in life should be some kind of like goal that you've got for yourself that, gives you like goosebumps whenever you think about it. So it could be that you're trying to write a book. It could be that you're trying to, you're making your own startup, your own business, your own side hustle, or it could be your chosen career right now. It could be that you're trying to get more promotions at work. It could be that you're just trying to do the best job that you can at your job. But either way, you have a calling that inspires you, that makes you feel phenomenal, that makes you want to daydream. And, if you put on some like inspirational music, for example, you can just sort of visualize having an awesome time. That's your calling, right? Whatever you see when you have those moments. And if your calling is the most important thing, then you're not going to be desperate for women, okay? Because if you're desperate for women, okay, then that means usually that your most important goal in life is to get laid or to find a girlfriend or to be in a relationship. But if your main goal in life is whatever this calling is, whether it's your side business, whatever it may be for you, then, and that's what your main focus and attention is on, then women just become sort of like a side quest, if you want to talk about it in video game terminology. And that's what women should be. Women should be a side quest. Your main quest is your mission and your purpose, and this calling in life. And the reason I call it a calling and I describe it as a calling is because it calls to you. Okay, that's how you know you've got a calling. Okay, if there's something that you just feel pulled to do, whether it's you're pulled to your laptop so you can write, if you're pulled to create something, or to whenever you have a moment to daydream, that's what you think about. You think about your calling. You know, that's what it is. That's what your purpose is. Okay, and that's what your main focus should be, not women. And if you're not desperate for women and your main goal is a calling, then I can guarantee that you are a way more attractive man than a lot of guys, because a lot of guys' main goal is about getting laid or getting into a relationship, or their relationship if they're already in one. So if you want to be more attractive to women, then the best thing for you to do is to work towards that goal, that calling for yourself. And if you've got a calling, and this is really fun, okay, this is the really cool bit, okay, that I really want you to listen to. When you're working on your calling, that puts you into your masculine. Okay, and if you're in your masculine, women are more attracted to you. Okay, because that pull from that pull for there's like it's like a magnet, right? Masculinity and femininity are like magnets. They want to come together. Okay, so when a woman notices a man who's in his masculine, she's drawn to him despite his physical outward appearance. Okay, but because she can sense what he is on the inside, and she can feel it, because if he's focusing on his calling, he's focused on his mission and his purpose, then he has like a certain way that he stands, a way that he talks, a way that he presents himself outwardly to the world, and that is usually masculinity. Okay, and if you're attracted to very, very feminine women, then those feminine women are going to be pulled and attracted to you because they're going to be able to sense that energy off of you. Okay, so that's why it's another important thing that you have a calling and a purpose in this life, because it puts you into your masculine whenever you're working towards that, whenever you're thinking about that, whenever you feel like you're a man on a mission. Basically, that's the kind of sense and feeling, right? You're a man on a mission. You've got a goal. You've got a purpose. You're fighting for it. You're trying to make it happen. Women are attracted to that energy. It's a magnet to them. Okay, so that's another sign that you may be an attractive man if you're already doing that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. On there at the moment there is my new dating course, which is called Dating Basics for Men, which you can get, or you can get in touch with me personally via coaching, or you could easily just coach yourself completely for free, because I know the economy is pretty bad right now, and you can go and read Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams completely for free on my website. Okay, so you just go to www.christineloveridge.com, link is in the description, and just click on the menu on the website and then go to the book and click on the book, and it'll take you straight there. You don't have to log in, you don't have to sign up. The book is just there for you to read on the website 100% for free. The only thing else on that page is a link to Amazon.com where you can purchase the physical copy, this physical copy right here, or you can get the Kindle version as well, but it's not necessary because everything in those versions are on the website. But if you would like to support me and you find my videos informative, then I would highly appreciate it if you could purchase either the physical copy or the Kindle version. The Kindle version is significantly cheaper, and leave a nice review about the book or about my coaching in general and how I may have helped you. It's just another way that you can support me if you would like to. Okay, but like I said, it's not necessary because you don't have to get the book at all, because you can just read it for free on the website. It's just another way you can support me if you feel inclined and if you would like to. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.